my name is Karina and welcome to the Karina Chronicles. Catching up on my videos has not been really going great, but today I'm going to tell you all about the books that I've read in February. So that's something. So in February I planned on reading I think like 10 books or something. I ended up reading 3 and they were not even the books that I said I would read. So that is always great. Also the rating wasn't fantastic, but it was better than the first book in this year. So, well, let me start with the last wrap up in January. I said I'd read 3 books, being Pretty Girls Make Graves, Ninth House and A Curse of Crows. That was actually not really true, because I started in Ninth House and A Curse of Crows and I was like, oh, I will probably finish it before the end of the month, and I needed to film it up front. So that's what I did, but then I ended up not reading anything anymore. So I actually only read 1 book last month, which was a shame, and it was also a 1-star rating, which was even more a shame. So that I had read 3 books in February is already an improvement. And the first book therefore was Ninth House, because I was already like halfway through when it was January. And my review of it that I said in my wrap up in January was actually kind of through. It was still a 2-star rating for me, which is not great, but the last 50 pages were actually a lot better than the rest of the book, so I didn't think it enough to lift the rating to 3 stars, but I am excited for Hellbent, the sequel to Ninth House now. So that is cool. It is on my TBR and I think it could be a very cool series. I just think this was a very introductory book where a lot of random trauma things were put in here that weren't used, which I really hate. And also just very complicated magical system that only got like explained towards the end, which didn't really like it. And then the second book that I've read. The second book that I've read was actually part of my project that I was hinting towards for the last few months. My boyfriend read 3 random books out of my bookcase that I marked as unread, so that I could read something out of my comfort zone, because I'm really one to plan ahead a lot. So I have like number TBR and I usually stick to it. And sometimes some books come in between because they're like book club books or something, or buddy reads, but overall I stick to my number TBR. And therefore there are some books that I really would like to read, but they are in my bookcase and will probably stay there untouched for the next 10 years. So I thought it was fun to let my boyfriend read 3 random books so that I would read something out of my bookcase that is, well, on my TBR, otherwise it wouldn't be in my bookcase, but not on my very soon TBR. It was also fun because he would go on a holiday and I would be gone. He would be gone and I would be alone. So I wanted something to remind me of him. As you know, if you've seen other videos, my February didn't go as planned, but I still took the wrapped books with me. I did end up reading only 1 in February, but the rest is still going to happen. And that first book was The Last Bus to Woodstock by Colin Dexter. An Inspector Morse detective, actually the first one. When I was reading it, I actually found out that I used to watch this TV adaptation of this with my mother and my sister, and it was really fun. I, of course, didn't remember because we watched so many detectives, so I didn't know the plot of this one. To be honest, I knew I liked it. It read really fast. It is a 3-star rating for me. Really did enjoy myself, and I was like, oh, I was surprised about the ending, but I don't remember a thing. We're not even a whole month after I've read this, and I don't remember a thing, only that I liked it. So 3 stars is probably good, because that's not that impressive actually. So yeah, but did really like to find a genre that I haven't been reading like ever, I think, that I do really enjoy and is something to read when I just am in the mood for something light and don't have the attention span to read something more complicated. This was perfect. So after this I actually picked up the second book that was wrapped in, but that was a very difficult one, being Beowulf in the translation of Tolkien. And couldn't get through it because I only had like 5 minutes every time to read, and well, such an old poem that was in this translation still from 1920s or something, so it just wasn't the vibe. So I picked something else up that I didn't even say I was going to read, but that was Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. The very last part in the Lunar Chronicles. It's actually a short story collection with 9 stories. I was very scared because the Lunar Chronicles is one of my favorite series of all time, but there's one other novella in there and I really didn't care for it. So I was afraid that this one was also a disappointment, and it's also the last thing I still needed to read from the Lunar Chronicles, so I felt a little bit sad to even start it. But it was actually really great. There were 9 stories and they were all about how the main characters from the series, came to the point where we actually met them. So it was more like a prequel story, so that you know how all the characters came to be who they were. And then the last story was a very happy ending. Like just after the happy end of the ending of the series, they had like a little, like in Harry Potter, you know, where you had this flash forward of them being 10 years older and having children that go to Hogwarts or something. Well, this was kind of the same. Like a flash forward how they are happy, which is cute. It wasn't that great, that last story, but the rest I actually really enjoyed. So I give the short story collection 4 stars, which is for now it's the best that I've read. It was literally like 1, 2, 3, 4 this year. I've read 4 books. The first one was a 1 star. And the last one a 4 star. So if my next read is going to be 5 stars, that would be great. Actually, when I'm filming this, I already read the next book. And I can tell you, it was very close to a 5-star rating. So I'm going upwards. And that is nice. But that was actually it for this video already. I really hope you liked it. Please let me know what books you've read. And if you've read any new favorites, I could have some help with having new favorites. That would be nice. And if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! So 3 books is not that bad, but I would have liked a better start of the year. So hopefully March will be a lot better, and definitely also rating-wise, because I need it.